Estate.org, coming to you live from the beautiful island of Maui, Hawaii. Just finished a nice little surf session, because that's what you do when you live near surf. It's the number one reason I would never live in the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico or the Bahamas, which is, I think, the Caribbean, right? Or is that the Atlantic? I don't know. Anyway, you gotta have waves, and if you don't have waves, it's just such a waste. Could you imagine living by the ocean and never being able to surf? That would be like being married to a woman. Never mind. We're not going to go there. So I'm at guardrails. Why do they call this guardrails? Oh, because of the guardrails. Yes, sir. So the video, I got to stay on topic here, right? Which is really hard for me. The topic is, when you buy a house on Maui, do you own the land? So if you clicked on the video because you want to know the answer to that question, I'm here to answer it for you as I walk down to the beach. Because you got to get your Maui fix. If you're new to my channel, never experienced this before, this is what we call the Maui fix. The Maui fix is where you get to just feel the Maui magical molecules through the internet molecules, the YouTube molecules, and you get your fix. If you haven't been here before, you got to check it out, because it's amazing. But the answer is, it depends. Don't you love that answer? When you ask like a really complicated question sometimes to somebody, a professional, you go, well, it depends. You know, oh boy, here we go. But it really does depend. What does it depend on? So I'm gonna answer the question, depends. It depends on if it's fee simple or not. So fee simple is what you're probably used to on the mainland. You buy a piece of land and you own it. It's called fee simple. You own the land underneath it. And the vast majority of the land in Hawaii, on Maui, is in fact fee simple. There's two other categories, and there would be leasehold, and then there would be Hawaiian homelands, which is funded by, I believe, Kamehameha schools, and a big huge fund where if you have a certain percentage of blood serum Hawaiian heritage, you can own Hawaiian homes land. But those are also, believe it or not, leaseholds. The sad news is they don't actually give the Hawaiian people a fee simple interest in the Hawaiian homeland program. They give them a leasehold interest. And what's a leasehold interest? A leasehold interest is where somebody else owns the land, and you have to lease it from them for 50 years or 100 years, and that's called a leasehold property. So there's really just two kinds of properties in Hawaii, on Maui, and that is either fee simple, that you own it, which I'm going to say, just guessing, is 90%, maybe less, but the vast majority. And then there are some leaseholds. Most of them are condominiums, and most of the homes that are leasehold are those Hawaiian homelands that I mentioned to you. So most websites, like my website, hawaiirealestate.org, you can refine your search, and you can actually click on, I only want to see fee simple properties. But a good way to know that it's fee simple or leasehold most of the time is that the price is just too good to be true. You're like, oh man, look at that, a beautiful house up in Kula for $500,000 on an acre. Like, yeah, that's Hawaiian homelands, that's leasehold, no can. Or a condo, oh man, look at this 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo in Maui, beautiful ocean view. It's only, $650K. Yeah, leasehold, most of the time. Now I'm gonna give you a little tip here. There is a type of a leasehold. Can you tell why I was just surfing? It was so nice. And I actually got out early to do a live. I just didn't want a day to go by without sharing, because sharing is caring. So thank you for sharing the video. Sharing, oh man, I forgot to put my Hurley hat on. Uh-oh, I'm showing my thin hair. Ruh-roh. It's all right, it's full of salt. And that revives the follicles. I hope so anyway. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, so there's a hybrid leasehold fee simple. I'll give you two examples. One is Maui Eldorado. Maui Eldorado, right in the heart of Kaanapali. It's a leasehold property, but the AOAO, the Association of Apartment Owners, they have purchased 10% of the land. So if you buy a condo there, it's still technically a leasehold, but the AOAO so far has purchased 10% of the land. Now, that eventually could be they buy all the land and it converts. So there are many properties, most properties on Maui, especially the condos, have converted. At one point, they were leasehold, and then they converted. All of the homeowners, the HOA, they all got together and said, hey, let's buy this land from whoever owns it, and then we'll convert it from leasehold to fee simple, and everyone's got to cough up their fair share of the land purchase. Napili Point is an example of a condominium complex that just did this. Phase 1 did it years ago, and Phase 2 just did it like a year or so ago. So anyway, that's called a conversion. But what happens in the course of a conversion, so think about this for a minute, there's always going to be someone that doesn't want to do it, right? They don't have the money, they don't agree, they're like, I don't want to buy the land, I like my cheap leasehold, I can't do it. So those are called the holdouts. I call them the orphans or the holdouts. They didn't buy the fee. Well, does that mean that the whole condo complex can't convert? No, they're still going to convert, but those particular individuals that didn't pay, they don't convert. They remain in a leasehold status even though the whole property has converted to fee simple. So now if you buy one of those, I believe you avert all of the risk of a leasehold. And what's the risk of a leasehold? The risk of a leasehold is at the end of the lease term, the landowner doesn't renew the lease, and now you have to give up your condo. Okay, there you go. Hey, move out, dude. Move your condo out of here, and you lose your investment. So that's the downhold. It's called I think it's the vacancy clause. You have to vacate. But if the whole complex has already converted and you're buying one of the holdouts, I don't believe you could ever get kicked out of the complex because it's already owned by your fellow AOAO owners. So anyway, that took a long time to explain, but hopefully that makes sense. Oh, I'm getting stiff, I'm getting old. It's the first time I surfed in a long time. Let's take a look around real quick. Where am I at? Guardrails, as I mentioned, beautiful. West Maui Mountains towering. Of course, it's officially called Mauna Kahalavai. Beautiful, huh? Man. And that is the neighborhood known as Launiupoko. And right now, speaking of land, there is a bit of a land rush happening. Many land purchases happening right now in Launiupoko and Oluwalu. Not a lot of homes are selling. The cottages are selling, which is the 1,000 square foot cottages. That's an active market. The homes are a little slow right now, but there's lots of land that is sold and that's pending from here down to Oluwalu. And I believe part of it is because Peter Martin is relinquishing many of his land assets right now. So land rush, land grab, but the right kind. People coming in and paying legitimate dollars for it. There is this acquisition of lots happening in Lahaina, I've heard, by a certain community organization group, Keep Lahaina Lands in Lahaina Hands, and they're offering to purchase lots at assessed value versus at the market value. So that's not cool. I think everything should sell at market value, don't you agree? But anyway, the devil's in the details. I was actually just surfing with these folks here, having a good old time. Again, this is guardrails. I'm talking kind of loud because is it just me or is the ocean kind of loud right now? Between the cars behind me, and just to orientate yourself in case you're not familiar with the islands, that's Lanai, right? Down here, we've got a little Karen Hall up in the sky. Aloha Karen. And we have the island of Ko'olave. That's the one that the military used to use as a bombing range, and then it was given back to the Hawaiian people. It's basically off limits. It sits in the rain shadow of Haleakala, so it doesn't get any rain. And it still has unexploded ordnance on it. So it's really uninhabitable, not habitable. And you can't go within so many nautical miles of it. So it's a no fishing zone, just no everything zone. That is the beach park known as Launiupoko and the surf break. And as we slide the gimbal that's now working perfectly well to the north, this is the road that is now open that goes to Lahaina Town. So Puamana would be right up here. Puamana Beach Park, I recently learned, is they're discovering that it was an old cemetery, apparently, and they're never going to open it again now. It's being reclaimed by the Hawaiian people. So if you go to Puamana Beach Park, don't park near it, on this side of the highway. They'll tow you, and the locals, whatever, they are reclaiming that because it was a cemetery. Now I contend actually that pretty much probably most of the coastline in Hawaii was used as a cemetery over the years by the indigenous people, so you could probably find remains most everywhere would be my guess. But at any rate, if Puamana Beach Park is to be a cemetery again, so be it. I will definitely honor and respect whatever the conclusions they come to. But I'm just giving you guys the 411. Next time you come to Maui, don't be rolling up in the Puamana Beach Park of the days of old, because it's now kapu. It's a stay away, stay out. No can. So these folks are just going for the ultimate nice little evening surf session. Nothing like a little soul surfing. It's when you're just out there all kind of by yourself or with a loved one or a friend or a kid and get the whole break to yourself, and just some nice little tasty nuggets coming through as the sun goes down. Yes, it's bath water. It feels good. Here's some nice breaking waves here coming in. This is sort of where all of the foilers will hang out, whether they're prone, manual, or e-foil. You see a lot of these foilers. Back in the day, if you remember, this surf break here was one of my favorites. It was called Single Palm Tree. Do you remember there was a single palm tree that was right here? And we called it Single Palm Tree. But the palm tree's gone, man. What do we call it now? I don't know. We call it Fun, because it's kind of a thick little slab right in here. It's a nice one, man. It's fun. Good stuff. And this is, I believe they call this guardrails. A lot of surf schools go out right here. It's a good spot. It's not super crazy over the top crowded like Laniapoko can be, but it's just a good, solid. But in fact, one of the things I love about Maui versus, say, Oahu or Kauai, I mean, those are great islands. Kauai, Oahu, is this. Ready? Oh, man. There we go. Uh-oh. Still having a bad hair night. But anyway, what I love about it, I'm a little hoarse, sorry. What I love about Maui, so many things, but why I like it better than Oahu when it comes to surfing or Kauai is that if you're thinking about getting into this sport, if you're thinking about starting surfing, or you're just not going to be some 28-year-old just charger and you just want to be someone that just is learning or has fun, because Maui is blocked essentially by Lanai, by Molokai. We're not in the open ocean, right? If you go to Kauai or Oahu, you're in the open ocean. Those waves are coming in unadulterated from the swells, and so there's nothing blocking. Whereas here on Maui, you get this beautiful sort of reduction in wave height, and so it makes it much more doable, if you will, for leisure surfing. An example would be if you're a skier and you go to, say, Jackson Hole. It's extreme, right? It's like Jackson Hole is pretty intense. It's a lot of diamond, black diamond, hard blues, and it's just not something you're going to have fun with if you're just learning or if you're just trying not to go hardcore. I can give you an example of some other ski resorts that are that way, but ultimately, this would be like greens and maybe make an easy blue most of the time. Now, don't get me wrong. We do get some nice big swells that come through here. Honolulu wave, the wave at Honolulu Bay, that's a performance wave. But there's days when it's Manini, right? But I wouldn't go there unless you know what you're doing. But we still get some monster swells. We get some beautiful wrap, especially in the wintertime. So that is about to happen. Winter is upon us. Winter is coming. Thank God, because it's been a very, very slow summer. Oh my gosh, let me tell you what. The gills are dry. It's like, oh man, gotta get some salt in the gills, man. They're just dried out. Isn't that right, Daniel? Blind Daniel. He had a friend of his that said that to him. So shout out to Blind Daniel. And we're going to get you back on a surfboard soon. Very soon. I hope. But anyway, there's a song I wanted to sing. Oh, I know there was a song. I know. Why do I say this stuff? I don't know. There was a song that was going through my head. Do you ever have a song just like randomly just goes through your mind? Just when you don't know where it comes from, it just shows up? So as I was surfing just a few minutes ago, it was... what was it? No, I forgot. Oh man, I forgot. It was. I have another song stuck in my head, and I don't want to tell you the wrong song. I wouldn't be honest. It was. I can't remember. It's too much magical molecules. Now this is the new gimbal. I will remember it here in just a moment. It was. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. And then it was hybridized, because I'm not dreaming of a white Christmas, but it was the white froth of the surf, right? That's the white Christmas that I'm dreaming of. See the surf has got that white right there? That's the white Christmas that I'm dreaming of. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with all the waves. Yeah, I was trying to figure out like a cool, cool lyrical way to express it. I didn't get that far though. It was just, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. It was just going over and over. But instead of snow, it was just crashing waves and just riding and snapping the lip and just, yeah. Because I used to hate winter. I still hate winter, by the way. Hate it, hated it, still hated it, still hate it. But when you live in Hawaii, as winter is coming, instead of having those thoughts of dread and you're like, oh no, winter is, oh no, it's gonna be cold, it's gonna suck, it's gonna be 6 months of hell. Instead, right? Instead, it's like, man, I can't wait for winter, man. Yes, winter is coming, yes, let's go, I can't wait. All I wanted to do every year was to make enough money to survive so I could have another winter on Maui. Because the waves, and it's just beautiful. The weather just gets perfect. It gets a little hot in the summer. I'll be honest with you, it gets a little hot. But in the wintertime, man, it is just amazing. So anyway, if you're just tuning in, the answer to the question is, you do own the land on Maui. It is, most of it's fee simple. There are some leaseholds. There are some Hawaiian homelands that are leasehold. The Hawaiians should have a fee simple interest. Man, if I was Hawaiian, I'd be like, really? You're gonna put me on this waiting list for like 300 years, which I'll die before I get my leasehold land? I should get fee simple land. They give them leasehold, so that's wrong. It's just wrong, man, I'm sorry. They should be giving the Hawaiian people fee simple lands. The same thing, keep Lahaina hands and Lahaina lands or whatever. They're doing the same thing. They're trying to buy them at assessed value, which is not market value, and then they're going to give it to a Hawaiian family as a leasehold. They're not going to give them a fee simple interest. So it's, again, it's just devil's in the details. Hawaiian people should have a fee simple interest in their land, not a leasehold. And when you buy property here, I'd recommend going with a fee simple, but a leasehold is also a great option if the building has already converted to a fee simple and you're holding one of the few orphan leaseholds, because they're about half the price and they perform as if they're a fee simple. So the ROI is ridiculous. Matter of fact, I've got one for sale right now at Kaanapali Shores. It's a beautiful one bedroom, and I'll put a link in the description. It's teamwestmaui.com, and you can see that unit. We just did a price reduction, as a matter of fact. So anyway, check it out. By the way, Kaanapali Shores is hot right now because not only is it fee simple, this one's leasehold, but it's a fee simple hybrid, leasehold hybrid, but it's a hotel zone. And hotel zone means they can't take away the right to do vacation rental. So check it out, teamwestmaui.com. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. I got to go do something else. I wish I could go surf a couple more ways. If you enjoyed the video, as always, I'd love a shaka, a thumbs up, a share, a subscribe, and a yes sir. Maui Dan, Blind Daniel. Love you guys. Till next time. Love all you guys. Eric West out.